If anybody know T.I, I know everybody at his school or high school didn't like him. So I got a reward, man. If y'all send me the yearbook pictures or something that's showing where he from, man, I will pay y'all personally, man. You know what I'm saying? Say he got a phone conversation. If you tell it, if we had a phone conversation, you need to tell him what the phone conversation was about. It's about you getting punched in the face at Club Pure by one of my goons, you know what I'm saying?
When you have a new artist like Shawty Lo, who's causing friction with you, he's obviously calling you out. You know, he's obviously challenging the throne.
Yeah,
you know, which in my opinion is
if you could call it that.
Well, you know, you see it as competition. You don't take it personally.
I'm sorry.
Hip-hop feuds rarely end well, and T and Shawty Lo's was no exception. Although their feud isn't as well known as some others. It ended exactly overnight. Their relationship went from mutual respect to full-fledged.
You know what I'm saying? He a great rapper. I'm from the streets for real. That's what I do for real. I'm on Bankhead for real. 2610. He's talking about y'all come and do something. Do where we at right now?
Disrespect. And T definitely got the short end of the stick in this situation. To start, Shawty Lo called T out, accusing him of lying about his true origins. This set off a domino effect, with the streets and the industry beginning to question T.I.'s street credibility. We want to know, man, how you've seen him? Is he from a bank? We haven't seen any bricks. Man, we already know who you are, little baby man. Why do you say you pull up in that bank? They already know who you are, man. However, Shoto's accusations continued, and T was given one of the worst labels in the rap game as snitch, which has stuck with T for years and is still brought up by other celebrities today. However, I'm going to tell you this. When I saw that, I believe T went up there and just got the talking. You know, you were saying T was a rat, so yeah, man. Everyone is aware, homie, that this conflict became so fierce that it transcended words and erupted into public back and forths, heated times during performances, and even physical altercations between their crews. It was chaos. 2.5 to 3.15 in Shawty Lo and T were both making waves in their own ways. But let's break it down. Shawty Lo had already established himself in the industry with his group D4L, while T was establishing himself as one of Atlanta's biggest rap stars. Both claimed to represent Bankhead, and both were well known for their ties to the street.
I know it's a lot of times, you know, you find yourself in positions around people who don't like you, but most of the time that's just because they don't like their damn self, you know?
The streets. T had been involved in the game since he was a young child, hustling and getting into trouble. By the time he was 14, he had already been arrested several times. Rap game later in life. T had been pushing mixtapes out of his car and rhyming since he was 8 years old. By 1996, Shawty Lo was still heavily involved in the streets. When T began to gain traction, he released his first video for I'm Serious in 2001. Interestingly, many of the cars in the video were borrowed from Shawty Lo, who was already well known in the streets at the time. You can even see Shawty Lo casually strolling by. Wentz left after Shawty Lo made the decision to pursue his solo rap career. By the time Shawty Lo left D4L to concentrate on his own music, T.I was already a well-known figure in hip-hop, with chart-topping hits, Grammy Awards, and widespread recognition as one of the biggest rappers in the South. Despite all of this success, T always presented himself as someone who remained connected to the streets. Naturally, Shawty Lo reached out to collaborate on a song, but T rejected him, and that's beef began. According to reports, Shawty Lo felt disrespected because he had previously helped T by lending him cars for his video when he was just getting started. Now that T was acting as though he didn't even know who Shawty was. Shawty didn't take the rejection lightly and began calling T out. However, T had his own version of events, saying that it wasn't personal and that he simply wasn't feeling the song that Shawty wanted him to be on. 5.17, 5.32 intro. However, as more information became available, another aspect of their past emerged. It turns out that when T was working hard and trying to establish himself on the streets, Shawty Lo was already a prominent figure in the drug trade. Naturally, T looked up to him and asked him for advice and assistance in the business. But according to T, Shawty Lo coldly rejected him and refused to offer him any support. Intro 5.53/6.14 in the present. Key didn't even realize at first that the same Shawty Lo who had approached him about working together was the same person who had shut him down years prior.
What people don't know is the reason he made that song, it was because I didn't get on a song that he wanted me to get on for them. But that just wasn't my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the music that they were doing, I didn't feel it fit me. It wasn't, you know.
When he made the connection, he put his foot down and refused to perform the song. I ain't never say nothing. I ain't raw. No hell hey. You know what I mean? When I learned that about a year before the feud between T and Shawty Lo really heated up, I thought, oh, get your weight up. Hours before he was scheduled to perform at the Bet Hip Hop Awards in Atlanta, the feds swooped in and arrested him.
And I said the same thing that any Atlanta say when he wants you when he looking for an opportunity from you. Yeah. With me. I say, man, you know what I'm saying? Like 200, baby, you know what I'm saying? So they did me just like this. Get your weight up. Roll the dice. Kept the game.
The charges were serious: possession of 3 unregistered machine guns, 2 silencers, and being a felon in possession of firearms. Apparently, T had attempted to purchase the weapons from someone who was secretly working with the feds, setting him up for what appeared to be an airtight case. This was a nightmare for T. At a lengthy era sheet and was now facing a possible 10-year sentence for the new charges. Fans were bracing for the worst, expecting him to serve a lengthy sentence. However, something unexpected happened. T pleaded guilty, and instead of spending 10 years behind bars, he only received a 1-year sentence. In addition, he served only a few months in prison before being released. This light sentence had everyone wondering how someone could be caught trying to purchase machine guns and plead guilty, and walk away with little more than a slap on the wrist. This didn't sit well with many people, and Shawty Lo made sure to take advantage of the rumors and interviews. He implied that cooperating with the authorities was the only way to get a deal like that in a federal case. He didn't say it directly, but it was obvious that he was calling TIA a snitch. 7.57 8.08. Accusations received a lot of attention, but it turns out that T may have been the one to make the initial jab back in 2007. T released the song Big Things Popping, and some people think he was making fun of Shawty Lo in the lyrics. In one section of the song, TRS, do it to the maximum, take it while you ask 'em, don't listen to them suckers, when the line seemed to allude to Shawty Lo, who had been publicly upset about T rejecting his request to collaborate. After T completed his sentence and returned to work, he addressed the rumors. They say you two were rational. C. I said I was king, and they lamies started laughing. Those same suckers now want the king on a track with them. And the escalating conflict? With Shawty
T.I a snitch.
Ticket caught all kind of guns. Convicted theft. Murder service. Go serve a year later on. You can't buy your way out of bed.
Shawty Lo. He rejected the notion that he needed to use someone else's name to get attention in an MTV interview. Calling it absurd, I never looked to gain acknowledgement or recognition by mentioning anyone else's name. It was an issue with me and another person. It wasn't a publicity gimmick or a marketing ploy. When DJ Sway questioned whether Shawty Lo was a true rival, for him, TIE didn't take the time to consider the topic. Instead, he dismissed it as a joke. Intro 9.2 89.40. Dismissal didn't sit well with Shawty Lo, who decided to hit back harder. He started questioning T.I.'s authenticity, calling out his claims about being from the west side of Atlanta, specifically Bankhead. T.I. had always proudly repped Bankhead in his music, but Shawty Lo was calling cap on the whole story. He claimed that nobody in Bankhead even knew T, and accused him of building a false narrative about his street ties. If anybody know T, I know everybody at his school. Where high school didn't like him, so I got a reward. Man, if y'all send me the yearbook pictures or something, that's showing where he from, man. I will pay you all person, man. No to drive his point home. Shawty Lo dropped Undone a diss track, aimed squarely at T on the track. Shawty Lo rapped, I've done it all. Who mentioned? Bankhead didn't acknowledge me. What you blind need some glasses to see. He added fuel to the fire with more lines, like yeah, I'm hot.
You see it as competition? You don't have to take it personally.
I'm sorry.
Hot dude, they say. I'm burning. Up meet, the rare dude. I'm going to turn it up, add the fire to the flame. Who mentioned? Bankhead didn't say my name, but the line that really stuck and became a catchphrase in the feud was dude said he from the west side. Well, Goodman, it must be too. Sides that lyric hit hard and had people questioning. T's entire backstory. Shawty Lo even made a whole video, driving around Bankhead interviewing people to see if they knew T. The footage was meant to embarrass T, showing that his supposed roots in the neighborhood were questionable at best. This one, original from Bankhead Man We W Know, Man How You Seen, We Man How Ya Say. T is E from Bankman We Seen. At the time, T was one of the biggest rappers in the world, so having his street credibility challenged so publicly was a bad look in response to Shawty Lo's constant jabs. T.I. decided to go all in with a diss track called What's Up, What's Happening. Not only did he come for Shawty Lo lyrically, but T.I. also filmed the music video in Bowen Homes, a neighborhood in Bankhead that Shawty Lo was closely associated with. Hey, look, we going to ride on up to the top of Baker Road, and then we going to ride back down IAD way. The track was ruthless with T coming for Shawty Lo and his crew with lines like, I bet that would he get a show, now that's a damn shame. I guess that would he hating faux boy you so damn lame, your click the same just a bunch of walking as stains disgrace. The you give the city such a bad name. T also addressed their past, airing out how Shawty Lo had switched up on him, despite them being cool back in the day. He rapped but still, I hear you loud and clear on your little song. Go on, get your dissing on while the king gone. Your self-esteem gone, cause I'm back. Now, let's see. If we can't teach these dudes how to act, now you're kissing, eh? Then you jumping back now. I check your A, then I shut your A. Music down. T also addressed Shawty Lo's antics of driving around Bankhead, asking people if they knew him, calling it desperate and irrelevant. In the track he rapped, hey what? I care about who you askin', saying they ain't heard of me? I'm certified, certainly your videos ain't hurting me, I still ride with the windows rolled down all around the town like it's go down. Then to add another layer T threw in, go on, get yourself high cause I yelled Bankhead, and you felt left out. I ain't mention your name, is that what all this about? But that wasn't all. On his track, No Matter What, T allegedly sent more shots at Shawty Lo, with lines like, set the standard in Atlanta, how to get it. So you opened coming rappers. Want a diss just off it, I'm officially the realest, point blank period. Whether I still live in the hood, or just visit whatever you can do in the hood, I done did it. That's why the dope boys and the misfits feel it. This still his city, long as tip living. T.I. was doubling down on his status in Atlanta. He was effectively shutting down any questions about his credibility or his connection to the streets. By late 2008, the tension was sky high. Then came the infamous Dirty Awards in Atlanta in November of that year, where everything took a turn for the worse. Both T and Shawty Lo were in attendance, and their crews were eyeing each other from across the room. At first things stayed relatively calm. There was tension, but nobody was acting out. That all changed when Shawty Lo hit the stage and performed his diss track Dun Dun. The performance was like lighting a fuse. Reports say that as Shawty Lo was performing, members of T's crew started throwing chairs onto the stage. The chaos got so bad that the show had to be temporarily shut down. While security tried to get everything under control during the break, it said that T and Shawty Lo actually crossed paths backstage and supposedly squashed the beef, at least on the surface. But if there was any peace, it didn't last long when the show resumed. T hit the stage, and according to witnesses, threw more shade at Shawty Lo in front of the entire crowd. That was the final straw. Tensions boiled over and their crews couldn't hold back anymore. A full-blown brawl broke out with both sides, throwing punches. I know it's a lot of times you find yourself in positions around people who don't like you, but most of the time because they don't like they damn self you applause. No, the chaos was so intense that the cops had to step in and use pepper spray to break it up. Shawty Lo himself ended up catching a face full of it during the melee after the brawl at the Dirty Awards. The beef between Shawty Lo and T became one of the biggest stories in hip-hop. Every fan, blogger, and media outlet had an opinion on it, and it seemed like the tension was only going to escalate. Further, Shawty Lo kept the heat coming, clowning T.I. in interviews and even claiming T.I. got punched in the face during the chaos. At this point, fans thought there was no way these two would ever see eye to eye. It was all-out war, and people braced themselves for more diss tracks, more public drama, and maybe even more fights. But then something unexpected happened. In a surprising twist, Shawty Lo and T.I. decided to put the beef to rest. To seal the deal, they even hit the stage together for a performance at TS Club in Atlanta. Seeing the two of them together was a huge moment for the city and the culture. From there, both Shawty Lo and T.I. went on to continue building their legacies. T solidified his spot as one of the greatest rappers to ever come out of Atlanta, and Shawty Lo remained a respected figure in the city. But then, tragedy struck on September 21, 2016. The city of Atlanta and the hip-hop community were hit with devastating news. Shawty Lo had passed away that night. Started off like any other for him. He was out at the Blue Flame Lounge, a popular strip club, partying with his crew and enjoying himself. It was a normal chill night, and no one could have predicted the tragedy that was about to unfold. Shawty Lo left the club around 2 in the morning with 2 women in his car. They were driving down the highway in his Audi A7, and according to reports, Shawty Lo was really pushing it. Speeding down the road, the women in the car later revealed that they had asked him to slow down, but it seems he didn't take their warning seriously. Unfortunately, things took a deadly turn. Shawty Lo lost control of the car, drove over a guardrail, and the vehicle collided with 2 trees. He was ejected from the car, and by the time paramedics arrived, it was already too late. Shawty Lo was gone. We have breaking news. An exit ramp on I-25 is back open after a deadly crash in South Fulton County. We're learning more this morning about the man killed in the wreck, local rapper Shawty Lo. The details surrounding the crash left many people with questions. Shawty Lo reportedly had a significant amount of cash on him that night, and in a bizarre twist, the 2 women who were in the car with him ended up taking all the money off his body before leaving the scene. This sparked all kinds of rumors and conspiracy theories. Some people thought there was something sketchy goings on, especially since Shawty Lo's father had passed away just a week before. Shawty Lo had even recorded a tribute song called "Letter to My Father" to honor him. Fans started speculating about the eerie timing of their deaths, but in the end, there wasn't any concrete evidence to suggest foul play. It seems like Shawty Lo was just driving too fast without a seatbelt, and tragically the consequences were fatal. After the news broke, Atlanta was in mourning. Shawty Lo was more than just a rapper. He was a cultural figure who had left a lasting mark on the city. Tributes poured in from all corners of the rap game. T.I was one of the first to honor him. He posted a heartfelt message on Instagram, giving Shawty Lo his flowers and expressing his respect for him as a pioneer and a legend. Even though they had their differences in the past, T made it clear that he always had love for Shawty Lo, and he recognized the massive impact Shawty Lo had on Atlanta's music scene. Other artists also paid their respects. Metro Boomin shared a photo of himself in the studio with Shawty Lo, Future, and Young Scooter, captioning it, "Long live the king of Bankhead." Future also honored him, tweeting, "Legends never die, Shawty Lo, forever Lo." Yachty joined in to sharing an old interview clip of Shawty Lo praising him and tweeting, "R.I.P. Shawty Lo." Even Shawty Lo's longtime friend Gucci M reacted to the news, posting, "Damn it man, R.I.P. Shawty Lo without Shawty Lo and D4L. The entire rap game in Atlanta would be different today. He paved the way for a ton of new artists to break into the industry, but unfortunately he isn't around to see how big his impact really was.